Breaker blocks are probably one of the most misunderstood ICT concepts. So in this video, I'm going to completely simplify it. I'm going to show you what they are, how to use them, and when to use them for the highest probability setups. And I'm also going to show you some live market examples that played out this week. And just before we get started, we're on a 39-hour win streak in the signal room. So for just over a month, we've had a win streak, and in this win streak, we've made over 39 hours. We keep killing it every single day, every week. It's a profitable trading week, and we are the most consistent signals room out there. So guys, if you want to go ahead and join for $30 a month, literally $1 a day for a month, you cannot go wrong. I also send out my chart work and my analysis, and I'm also going to be sending out a weekly market breakdown video today, so make sure you go ahead and join before the new trading week starts. We're going to keep smashing it. So guys, go ahead and join for literally $1 a day, $30 a month. You cannot go wrong. But if you want to join the signals room for completely free and get funded 100% guaranteed, and you don't pay a single penny until after we pass the funded challenge for you, go ahead and join the funded fast service group in the description below. We will pass your challenge 100% guaranteed, and you don't pay a single penny until after we pass. And the best part is, if you fail the challenge for whatever reason, you get a full refund. So it's a zero risk investment. We've got loads of proof and results on this channel right here. As you can see, we're passing accounts every single day. We're passing accounts in minutes, reaching the max funding allocation in literally minutes. So guys, it's all up to you to go ahead and take action. All the proof is right here. This is the golden opportunity to get funded. Your aim should be to secure as much funding as possible, and with the funded fast service, you can do exactly this. As you can see, a brand new account is being passed every single day, and one of our clients even made $10,000 in his first withdrawal from an account that we funded for him. So we passed the challenge in literally a few minutes. A 200k account who was funded, and in his first withdrawal he made $10,000 after learning from the trades that we take in the signals room. And Derek actually joined the signals room for completely free. Stop gambling your money, stop throwing money at these funded challenges only to fail it yourself. With us, it's a complete 100% guaranteed pass, and it's a zero risk investment. So go ahead, join the funded fast service group in the description below. It's a zero risk investment. All you have to do is send a message to Funded Fast on Telegram. We'll guide you through completely everything. It's a very easy process. So make sure you go ahead, join the Funded Fast service group in the description below, and message Funded Fast on Telegram to get started. And you also get access to the signals room for completely free once you get funded with the Funded Fast service. And don't forget, if you want to join the signals room separately for just $30 a month, $1 a day, you cannot go wrong. I'll leave the links to this in the description below if you want to join separately. And remember to also join the completely free community in the description below. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, what is a breaker block? Easiest way to describe it is a failed order block. Now, as you can see, I got a diagram right here to help you guys out. So as you can see, we got a down candle followed by an up candle and another second up candle. So after this up candle closes, this would look like an order block, right? It would look like a normal bullish order block. But what does price do? Price taps into the order block and then ends up closing below this order block right here. So once this order block fails, and once price closes below that order block with this candle right here, we call it a breaker block, because now price has broken the order block. It's become a failed order block. And where we want to use breaker blocks is when direction is clear. You don't want to use it in choppy markets or when the direction and overall bias is unclear. We want to use it when the direction is obvious and we know where price wants to go overall. So now on the overall diagram, you can see I've got two lines marked up right here, and this is just essentially a PD array or reference point that price is approaching, and this is when you're going to see price tapping into a breaker block. Now, what do I mean by a reference point or PD array? Now, ideally, I like these points to be on the higher time frame, because you're going from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame. And we're going to get into more detail on those breaker blocks later on in some more videos. But for now, I just want to go through the foundations of the breaker block. So let's say this line at the top right here represents a high time frame daily bearish order block. And let's say we're on the 15-minute time frame right now, and price has just tapped into this daily bearish order block. We see bullish structure on the way up to this daily bearish order block. Now, as you can see, I've got here a breaker mitigation before the reference point. So now that you know what a breaker block looks like, just before price reaches this daily order block or higher time frame PD array area right here, you will see on the way up, just before price is about to tap into this area, we will have a breaker mitigation. So whilst it's uptrending towards that daily PD array, you will see there will be a breaker block right here, which price ends up tapping into and then reacting off, tapping into the overall higher time frame PD area. So now let's get into the classic breaker block setup, where we look for a stop run, then a break of market structure. So as price taps into the higher time frame PD array area or the reference point area, we're expecting a bearish reaction to the downside now. But for that to happen, price has to break structure or do a market structure shift. Now, as you can see, this is our last structural point, and this is where we're going to look for a market structure shift from. And as you can see, before this low was created, price made a high where liquidity was resting above. Now, as you can see, price took out that liquidity, tapping into the high time frame area right here, and then moving to the downside and breaking that structure overall. Now, there's a variation to this breaker block setup, which I'm going to show you on the live market examples, but first you need to understand this. Price has to sweep liquidity first and then break market structure for it to be the highest probability breaker block. After price has broken market structure and the order block, which was once bullish, has now failed at this point right here, this is when we're going to be expecting that retrace or the mitigation, which basically means price tapping into or testing that breaker block before then moving in the opposite direction. Now you might be wondering, how do I enter? So I've spotted the breaker block, but how do I find an entry? Where do I place my stop loss? Where do I place my take profit? Well, I'm going to explain it now. So once you spotted the breaker block, there's two different types of entry methods. The first entry method is you could just enter as soon as price taps into the breaker block area. So as price is mitigating and retracing into that breaker block area, you can just enter, either place your stop loss above the breaker block or above the full structure overall, and then place your take profit at opposing liquidity or the opposing reference point. Or you could wait for lower time frame confirmation inside this area whilst price is tapping into this breaker block area on the lower time frame. Find your entry inside the breaker block and get a bit of a more refined stop loss to target opposing liquidity or the opposing reference point. Now, we don't need to overcomplicate it. Let's get straight onto the live market examples. Let me show you this playing out this week. Okay, so now as you can see, we're on Euro USD. I'm not on the 15-minute time frame, and I actually sent out some analysis on this pair to the team before the markets even opened. As you can see on Euro USD, I was expecting this high on the 1 hour to get ran out, price to tap into some sort of PD array or reference point on the daily time frame, and then price to reverse in the opposite direction into this fair value gap on the 1 hour. Now let me just show you on the charts what it looks like. As you can see, price took out that high on the 1 hour. It just missed our reference point but came very close to that, and as you can see, it's trading around our fair value gap area on the 1 hour time frame. Now let me show you how you could have caught an entry from that analysis that we sent out and from the high time frame down to the lower time frame. First of all, I want to show you on the high time frame what I was looking for and what you should have seen also when you were looking and analyzing this pair. Now as you can see, we had an imbalance, a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency on the 4 hour time frame right here. So this was my reference point area. And then on the 1 hour, we also had a high right here. What do we have resting above this high? We had buy side liquidity resting above this high. So we were expecting price to run out these stops and then reverse in the opposite direction and tap into this FVG sort of area right here. Now on the 15-minute time frame, this is where you could have looked for your breaker block entry. Now this wasn't the ideal setup for a breaker block, and let me explain why. So as you can see, after price took out the stops right here, a lot of people would have been waiting for a break of this structure right here and waited for a breaker block entry right here. But as you can see, price didn't really give you that entry on that breaker block. As you can see, price had made lots of equal highs or relatively equal highs with all of these highs right here. So at this point, you should have been expecting price to run out these stops, tap into our 4 hour reference point, and then break market structure to the downside. But as you can see, price ended up breaking structure. So as you can see right here, we didn't get the stop run, but instead we just got the straight market structure shift or the break of market structure, change of character, whatever you want to call it. As you can see on the diagram, we ideally want a stop run, then a break of market structure, but this is just a variation that I want to show you guys. Now, as you can see, if I just go in replay mode and show you what this looked like in real time, this looked like a bullish order block, right? But if we're expecting a breaker block and if we're expecting price to reverse in the opposite direction, we're expecting this to be a failed order block. We're not expecting price to hold this level right here. We're waiting for a failed order block. We're waiting for price to move below this point right here. We're waiting for this order block to fail. That's key here, that price closes below the breaker block. Now, as you can see, we got a lot of displacement to the downside. So at this point, price was now a breaker block. It was no longer an order block. It was a breaker block. And also you might be wondering, is this not the full breaker block right here? And the answer to that is no. We want the lowest candle right here, ideally the lowest order block right here. There's two ways of going about entering the markets. You could just enter straight on a short position. As price taps into the area, place a stop loss above the high over here, or place it above structure, as you can see, above this high right here, whichever one suits your trading plan. Remember, I highly recommend that you guys backtest and forward test any strategies that you see online before trading them yourselves, and make sure you have a solid trading plan before you actually jump in the live markets, and then set your take profit at opposing liquidity or the overall high time frame reference point. But let's just say this opposing liquidity, these lows right here. Let's say this was our opposing liquidity, right? You could just enter like this as price taps into the area. So if I just play this out right now, so as you can see, as soon as price broke that structure and then retraced into that breaker block area, mitigating this area right here, you could have just caught a straight sell limit or straight market execution entry as price was tapping into this breaker block area right here, or you could have dropped down to time frames like the 1 minute or the 5 minute time frame and looked for more confirmation actually inside of this area and caught a more refined and confirmed entry. But as you can see, this would have given you a solid 1 to 3 if you just entered straight off the breaker block. And as you can see, after that breaker block entry, price literally just melted for the whole week, and even told the signals room I was expecting this. As you can see, I was expecting that high to get ran out, tap into our reference point area, catch a lower time frame entry somewhere in there, and then price tap into this 4 hour or 1 hour FVG or imbalanced area. And as you can see, price did exactly that. Now let's move on to the second live market examples, which is going to be a bit more textbook than this setup. Okay, so for this example, you can see we're on GBP USD and we're on the 15-minute time frame. This was a very textbook entry, and I was also expecting this, and I also sent this out to the signals room. As you can see, I was expecting this high to get ran out and price to reverse. After taking out that high, I was just waiting for more confirmation at that point. Now, as you can see on the 1 hour time frame, I was expecting that high to get ran out. Now, you've got to ask yourself, what does the higher time frame look like? And as you can see on the left, on the 4 hour time frame, I had relatively equal highs or trendline liquidity, whatever you want to call it, marked up right here, and directly above it an order block or bearish order block right here. And as you can see, price tapped into that area after taking out that 1 hour high that I marked up and sent out to the signals room, as you can see right here. So after I marked out the high time frame reference point or PD array area, we go down to the lower time frame, and what do we look for? Remember on the diagram, ideally we want a stop run, then a break of market structure. And remember, the breaker block will look like in real time a failed order block. So if I just go on replay mode, you guys can go ahead and see what it looks like in real time. So right now, whilst price is tapping into this reference point area, and it's also taken out this high right here, so it's swept liquidity. What's price done? It's left a bearish candle before the up move, and this is the lowest bearish candle. You might be wondering, is this the full breaker block right here? We want to go for the lowest candle, and ICT himself says this. So as you can see, this is the low before that high was swept, and you can see instantly price breaks that order block with a lot of displacement, as you can see with this candle right here, breaks their downside. So now again, how do we enter? There's two different types of entry. You can enter as soon as price taps into the breaker block area and then catch that sell down, or you could wait for more confirmation inside this area and go down to the lower time frame, such as the 1 minute, 5 minute time frame, etc., and then wait for more confirmation. And as you can see, price instantly taps into that area, and then as you can see, we get a straight move to the downside, filling in that 1 hour and 4 hour inefficiency. As you can see, filling in this 1 hour and 4 hour inefficiency. If I just go to the higher time frame, as you can see, this was our overall reference point that I even sent out to the signals room, waiting for this area to be filled in. And as you can see, price is pretty much exactly that. Instead, it swept that liquidity on the higher time frame. So just bear in mind, we do have equal highs right here. Price tapped into that order block area on the 4 hour time frame, and then we got our breaker block entry on the 15-minute time frame, and you didn't even have to wait for any confirmation in this area. You could have literally just sold as soon as price tapped into that breaker block area. But bear in mind, direction was clear. So guys, don't overcomplicate it. Remember, study these live market examples, backtest this, forward test this. Let me know how it goes in the comment section down below. Let me know what other videos you want to see next. But guys, that's all for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, if you want to get funded 100% guaranteed and you don't pay a single penny until after we pass a challenge, there's no point gambling these funded challenges, throwing money away. Remember to use code ADZ5 at the checkout on novafunding.com for a very nice discount. And make sure you go ahead and join this group right here. We've got tons of proof reviews and testimonials on this group right here. Go ahead, read some of the reviews. As you can see, we are the best in the industry, so make sure you go ahead and join the Funded Fast service if you want to get funded 100% guaranteed. And remember, if you want to join the signals room separately for just $30 a month, I'll leave the link to this in the description below. I'll also be sending out a weekly market breakdown, so make sure you go ahead and join before the new trading week. We're going to keep smashing it. We're on a 39-hour win streak, and we've been on this win streak for just over a month, and we're going to keep killing it. So make sure you go ahead and join the signals room, and remember to also join my completely free community in the description below. That's all for today's video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.